based on your testimony here today, you have companies that Cycle Capital invested in, which you're partial, if not full owner of Cycle Capital, have received over $30 million of investments from SDTC while you were on the board. You are the biggest single beneficiary of the SDTC money while sitting on the board. Now, you're aware that the SDTC Act, which applied to you, says that board members cannot themselves benefit, nor can their family members benefit. So your company's received more than $30 million while you were on the board. Isn't that a benefit contrary to the SDTC Act?
Ce que vous dites est faux.
Well, what you're saying is false. Out of 250 files that were analyzed when I was a member of the board over those 5 years, 4 companies from Cycle Capital received $10.4 million. 4 companies for which I declared my stake. I followed this governance protocol. I recused myself from the discussions, and I had
received $10 million alone from SDTC while you were on the board. $10 million just in one company. Now, I will ask again. No, you don't get to interrupt me. Sorry, you don't get to interrupt me.
Order.
She's
we
getting
really cannot
mad.
have people speaking over.
You don't get to interrupt.
Order. Mr. Perkins, Madame Méthode, s'il vous plaît. Vous aurez l'opportunité de répondre.
You will have an opportunity to answer once he has asked his question, and I am certain that if you don't get an opportunity, another member will allow you to respond. I'm sorry, but that's how things work here, It's Mr. Perkins' time, and he's the one who will ask his question. So you are here to respond to the questions that are put from the members. And to date, things have been going well. There have been a couple of times when you were not able to respond, and another member provided you with that time to respond. So I'm sure that will happen again. Mr. Perkins? May I ask a question? To me, you may. Chair, when there are statements that are incorrect, that are false, that are part of the question, well, you will have an opportunity to respond. I'm trying to do my best. So, Mr. Drouin, go ahead.
Oh, here we go. Point of order.
I have the utmost respect for my colleagues and for the chair, but you as the chair need to make sure that there is a good flow of back and forth. But if there are statements that are false, then the witness has to be allowed an opportunity to respond to that. Well, as I stated, this is Mr. Perkins' time. There's a conversation happening. It is going well. At times, people are cut off, yes. But you will have an opportunity to respond.
Whether it's 10 million or whether it's 30 million or whether it's 50 million, it's contrary to the Act. You broke the Act that you served on. The SDTC Act says you cannot personally benefit. When SDTC made investments in your companies, while you were on the board, you broke the Act. Did you not?
No.
It doesn't say in the Act recuse.
No, but the principles of governance and ethics that we are taught when we sit on the board is to declare our stakes, our interests, and to recuse ourselves. And it's the same in all those other companies that have connections with the Canadian government or any other government in Canada. That is the practice.
Public board and spending taxpayer money is to not vote and have a board you're sitting on give money to companies that you own interests in. Now, I will ask you again, when you joined the board in 2016, the value of Cycle Capital in its assets under management was a little over $140 million, and when you left, it was $600 million. Seems like it was pretty good business for Cycle Capital to get money from SDTC where you're on the board, and that you also utilized it to screen companies.
C'est quoi, premièrement, l'affirmation.
First, your statement is confusing asset under management. Are you talking about asset under management? Yes, in 5 years, there was probably very good performance. However, we are a private fund, not a public fund, and you are confusing two different things, and I'm very surprised, Mr. Perkins. You know, these are the kinds of things that you should understand.
So when the culture of corruption on the board by Annette Fasharian came on and changed, there were 9 directors, including your colleague Guillemette, who voted for money for himself. You had money given to your companies. Stephen Kukucher had money given to his companies. There is a culture of corruption that you were participating in approving not only your money, but the money to other board members. Isn't that correct?
C'est complètement faux.
That is absolutely false. And when Jim Balzilli...
You didn't vote for Mr. Emet's companies. You didn't vote for your own because you left the
Le lien que
room.
vous faites avec la corruption.
The connection you are making with corruption is absolutely unacceptable, Mr. Perkins. It's false.
Members that were appointed, whether they were liberals or separatists, were using this fund in a little cozy group to support each other's companies. That's exactly what happened. That's what the Auditor General found. If you had been a governor and council appointment, do you believe the ethics commissioner would have found you not guilty?
Non.
No, I don't think so, no.
Not guilty or guilty of breaking the ethics laws of Canada?
Je crois que
I believe that the ethics commissioner can reach the conclusions they want to reach. I'm not the commissioner. All I can say is that when I arrived at the board, I was told what was expected of me, how to comport myself. I have always followed those recommendations, and I went even further because I was declaring even potential conflicts, not actual conflicts. Out of 32 times, 28 were a potential. They weren't real conflicts of interest.
Minutes, please.